love is just a word until we give it a meaning. And it's up to us to give that word meaning for ourselves and also identify what that means for the person who we're with so that we can share, this beautiful word called love with them as well. Blessed love and respect, everyone. I just want to welcome each and every one of you to another after-hour discussion with professional coaches. And now as we're getting things prepared, I just want to make sure everybody's warm up. I see Nicholas, he's warm and he's ready to serve. My name is Dino Delplesh, for those of you who don't know. I am a high-performance coach, and I'll be your host and your guide. And tonight, I have one mission and one mission only. That is to make sure that these sessions are fun and engaging, and make sure that the speaker that is here is ready to deliver as promised. But just before we get started, just a few things I want to short here. I have a quick icebreaker that I want everybody to engage with. And when I was a kid, I love riddlers. Yeah, let me see the hands of those of you who love riddlers. If you love riddlers, you can just put on your mic and say, yeah, drop something in the comment. Let me see if you love riddlers. Yeah, I wasn't too good at them, but I was okay. So I have a few riddlers that I want to propose to each and every one of you. So you can drop your answers in the chat. You can turn your mic on and answer them. Okay, let's go. Let's get this party started. So the first riddle is, how do French chefs make you love them? How do French chefs make you love them? I'm timing 1 minute and then I'll reveal the answer. So my timer is on. Let me see the chat. William said, be female. Interesting guess. We're 30 seconds in. Think about it, guys. What do chef plays around with a lot? And, they're French. How do they make you love them? In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Apple said, attention. 5, 4, 3, 2. They butter you up. Okay, that was just the warm-up. Yeah, right now our brain stems are just, colliding and crossing things across. So let's keep it going. I have 2 more on the ball. The next riddle is love. Oh, no, sorry. Wrong one. Sorry. That was the riddle. The next riddle is, I can break, I can be clogged, I can be attacked, I can be given, I can be kept, I can be crushed, yet I can be whole at the same time. What am I? You have 1 minute. I should have had that game song, Dun, 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 dun. What am I? Oh. Okay, Kingsford, love. That's close. You're warm, but you're not hot. Eric said an ideal. Apple said light. Okay, now we're getting a bit cold. Come on, guys. We have 20 seconds on the clock. 10, 9, 8, 7. Kingsford said a heart. And that's the answer. Yes, a heart. Yes, a heart can be broken. Yes, it can be clogged, it can be attacked. Yeah, and the answer is a heart. Now this is for the finale. So Team Dino won. Yeah, Team Motivate Community won. So this one is the tiebreaker, guys. So make sure you're ready for this one. And this one is a bit tricky, but easy. What do you call an Italian ant? Think about the theme of the topic tonight. Yeah, it's related. And that's just giving you an idea. See how generous I am? What do you call an Italian ant?
I'm bad at riddles.
Okay, William, aunties. Okay, I like where William is going with this. I think he's on to something here. We have 30 seconds. Food. Nope. 15 seconds. This one is a bit funny. I wasn't sure I would have guessed this one myself. Family. Yeah, maybe, but no. 10, 9, 8. Come on, guys. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on. Romance. And that is it for our riddles.
Hi there, Adrian here, and this is a video from a Zoom session that we do. We do these Zoom sessions every Sunday, and we take questions and answers from the audience, some of our students, some of our members. We never know what questions are coming up, so I'm always excited to do these sessions, and I hope to see you at one of them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and check out the other playlists that we have. Thank you. Enjoy.
Yeah, and tonight we have with us a very talented coach in our midst, and tonight he's gonna be speaking on the topic, or should I say a question he proposed: what does love mean to you? Yeah, and without further ado, I'll like to introduce you to Nicolas Laurent. Yeah, he's a psychologist and a coach, and he'll be telling you a bit more about himself and yeah, be guiding you along this topic. Welcome, Nicolas. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Welcome, Dino, and thank you for the Motivate community to have me here tonight. So brief introduction. So I'm a psychologist and a coach. I've been doing this since 2016, and I'm living in China. I have been living in China for 15 years now, so a long time. And so I do psychology and coaching in French, English, and Chinese. And so tonight the topic is what is love? And I would like everyone to turn on your camera and first do this little movement with me. Okay, I want to see your head moving on. Yes, okay, you got it. So now let's dive into the topic. Baby, don't hurt me, no more.
No more.
You know these songs? If you're old enough.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Hey, sing with me, come on. It will help you to understand the topic. So come on, move your hand. Move your hand. So I'm sure that some of you, after watching this clip, you already have an idea, but maybe not. It doesn't matter. So let's dive into the real topic now. So actually, what I'm going to present to you tonight is it's the part of a big training that I've done with my friend Matan and Isa about relationships. And so it's a big training. And tonight, I want to share with you this part. So love, we can talk about a lot of things about love. And I'm sure that if you ask 100 person, what does love mean to you? Maybe you will get 100 different answers to that question, right? So tonight, I'm not gonna give you an answer, but I will guide you to find your own answer so that you have more clarity. And like Tony Robbins like to say, clarity is power. So when you have clarity, you can make better advised decision, right? So when we talk about love, there are three different dimensions to understand it. Is how much do we invest in it? How much do we take responsibility for our love? Also, how do we select our partners? And also we have different goals or different driving force regarding love. And tonight I want to explain you a framework so that you can find what is your drive for love. And actually this framework, if you're familiar with Tony Robbins, maybe you have heard about the 6 human needs psychology. I don't know if people in the chat room have heard of that. If you have heard of that 6 human needs psychology, you can type 1. I will see if it's totally new for you or not. No one is writing, so maybe it's very new for you. Okay, so actually it's a framework that helps you to understand any behavior. It can help you to understand what depression is, anxiety, your relationship, why your relationship is working or not, or why your team is working or not. Because actually this framework works not only for love, but for any kind of human relationship. So if you want to apply this framework to your high performance team, then you can do it too. So basically in this framework, we have 4 survival needs. And I put them on this screen, 4 survival needs. And actually it's 2 couple of 2 dual needs, 2 antagonist needs. So you have the first 2, like the helmet and the bag, they are opposite. And then you have the fingerprints and the people with color, they are also opposite. So you can draw on a piece of paper those 4 needs. And while I'm going to explain what those needs mean, I'd like you to score yourself. Like, for example, if I explain the first need and you say, oh, yeah, it's really true for me, then you give yourself a score of 10. But when you hear myself talking about this need and you say, that's not me at all, then you give yourself a score of 0. Okay, so on a scale from 0 to 10, how much do you resonate with that need? And with that assessment, well, we can analyze your relationship and we can forecast why you're going to argue. Why you're going to argue with your partner. And again, your partner might be your love partner or your coworker. It's the same framework. Okay, so let's do it. So first need. The first need is the need of certainty. So what does it mean? Certainty, it means that I want to feel that I'm in control. I want to feel that I know. I want to see it clearly. Now, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. So you want to see stuff clearly, you want to feel safe, okay? And if it's a relationship with someone else, you want to feel that there is trust, okay? So if in your relationship, whether it is a workplace relationship or your intimate relationship, how much this need is important for you? Like in your relationship, how much do you crave for safety and comfort and clarity and control? So score yourself on a scale from 0 to 10, and you can send your score in the chat box. So I see there 8, 9, 8. Okay, so pretty high. Okay, no one with a low score like 0, 3. No. 8. Okay, so for everyone it's pretty high. 5. Okay, a little lower here. Okay, good. Remember, there is no right and wrong. Okay, completely forget about right, wrong, and stuff like this. 7. Okay. 5 until you must mention trust. Yeah. So you see, it's you have to feel the energy of that need. It can have different names like trust, safety, comfort, clarity. Okay, it's different names for the same feeling. Okay. So this is the first one, and so you see that a lot of people, they have like a 8, 9, so it's pretty high, right? So and I think like most of the people, they are yearning for trust and security and comfort in their relationship. But can it be 100%? like, for example, if you can imagine your life, if your life was 100% certain, how it would look like. If your life was 100% certain. So for example, you go to see a football game, and you already know, because it's certain, you already know the process of the game, and you already know the final score of the game. So the game will appear to be very boring. It's not interesting, okay? So even if we all want certainty and clarity, at the same time, we have another need that cannot be ignored, and which is the opposite, the need for uncertainty. And certainty, it has also different names. Like, for example, I want things to change, or I want to explore the unknown. I want to feel excited. I want to experiment. I want variety. About that word, I'm always worrying I pronounce it wrong, because with my French accent, I want to say variety. Yes. So now it's the need for uncertainty, and it's variety and excitement. But I hope that with the help of the PPT, you can understand my broken English. So uncertainty, I want things to change, right? I want change, I want diversity, I want things that I don't know, and I want surprises. So basically, when uncertainty is something that you like, you call it surprise. And when uncertainty is something that you don't like, you call it problem. But basically, it's the same. It's uncertainty coming to you. Okay, so I see some scores here. 652. Okay. So remember to keep your score written on your on a paper, because we're gonna analyze the score later on. 5. So as you see, it's lower. Like in general, it's lower than the need for certainty. We will talk about that later. Okay. So this is the second need. The third one, with the fingerprint on the left, it's the need for significance. So the need for significance is, I want to feel that I am unique. Okay. Why do you love me and not him? Why I am different? Why did you choose me? Okay. So with the need of significance, we want to feel that we are worthy. I am worthy of your attention. I am worthy of your respect. I am worthy of your love. And you can write it in the corner of your head. Feeling worthy of love and feeling in love is different. We can talk about that later on also. Okay, so the need for significance. And I see, like, except William with the 3, other people, they are pretty high on this one. Yeah, 9, 10. Okay, okay. Okay, so what's the last need? The last need is the opposite of the significance one. So significance is about me, okay? When I think of a problem from a significance point of view, I will think from my point of view, okay? And my uniqueness and my values and stuff like this. And the fourth need is the opposite. When I'm thinking from the perspective of the need of connection, I don't think about me, I think about us. So it's a different approach to see the situation. And connection is about compassion. It's about two feeling alike. It's about intimacy. It's about team spirit. Okay. So as you see, when we go for significance, we have to draw lines between us and others so that we can feel different. Okay. And when we talk about connection, we just erase those lines and we think collectively, we think as a team. Okay. So I can see a pretty high score here too. 7, 9, 10, 9.5. Okay. Good. Okay. So I think that most of the people you have scored yourself. So first, before we move on, is there something unclear about those 4 needs? How do you get the idea? If it's all clear for you, enter 1. And if it's unclear for you, you can type in your question or open your mic and ask me. Because in the next slide, I will start to analyze. We'll start to analyze your scores. Okay, so first you need really to understand those needs. What do they mean? Okay, clear. Okay, good. So let's move on. So now we're gonna analyze your score and we're gonna forecast why you could argue in your relationship. How do we do that? Well, you know, we are in China and we can use the yin-yang mindset. Okay, so everything is about yin and yang is 2 different forces that are opposite but also complementary and who are always changing to one another. And with the yin-yang mindset, there is also no absolutism. There is no absolute right or absolute wrong. You just have to find your dynamic balance points between the 2 opposites. Okay, so just know we have seen that those 4 needs, they are in 2 couples, 2 yin-yang couple. Okay, the more I want certainty, the less uncertainty I might feel in my life. The more I want uncertainty in my life, maybe the less certainty I will feel in my life. They work like this. Okay, so now I would like you to watch your scores between certainty and uncertainty, and the difference also between significance and connection. Do you score basically the same for both of them, both high or both low, or is there a big gap between the 2? And what I said with big gap, it really depends on your score. So for example, if you're like a 8, 9, 7, and you have a 3, then 3 to the others, it's a big gap. Okay, so what's your scores? So okay, Elena say both high. Okay, it's good. And the others, do you think that there is a big difference between the 2, or it's the same for certainty and uncertainty? And you can also look for significance and connection. Same. Okay. Okay. So okay, gap of 2 and second, there is no gap. Okay, so it's pretty much the same. Gap of 6 and 5. Okay, so 6 and 5 start to be a bigger gap. Okay, but 2, I would say 2 is not a very big gap. Okay, so what does it mean for you? What does it mean that for you, these 2 needs score at the same level? Or what does it mean to you that your 2 needs score are at different level? How do you understand that? I'm not going to give you the answer immediately. I would like first you to think for yourself. But it's a very important exercise, because when you have understand that, you can understand your behavior and you can understand how your relationship works. So what does it mean for you if they're on the same level? And what does it mean for you if there's a big gap between the 2? How do you understand that?
I think for me personally, when I look at the first 2, the gap is quite small. And I think, for example, certainty, it depends on certain situation. You know, trust may be high for me in relationships. But say, for example, if I'm doing something competitive, you know, sometimes I may not need that much trust, just the belief that, you know, the others can do what they can do and have that uncertainty, you know, so the game can be fun and engaging. Yeah, so I'm saying depends on the situation, the score varies for me personally. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, so it's not something fixed. It's like, as you said, you know, it's like when we face different kind of situation, our score may change. Okay, and it's good. It's dynamic, like the yin and yang. It's never the same. Okay, so unbalance. Yeah, maybe. So let's imagine. Let's take some extreme example. Okay, So if I am someone with a score of 10 on certainty and a score of 0 on uncertainty, what kind of relationship do I have? What kind of relationship it could be? If I score 10 on certainty and 0 on uncertainty, how is my life with my partner?
Difficult.
Transparent, yeah.
I'm thinking a lot of control would be in that relationship, which can cause a lot of tension. That's from my perspective.
Yes, transparent, needy control, yeah. Okay, so in itself, like each need in themselves, they're not good or bad, right? It's like yin and yang. It's not that yin is bad and yang is good, or the contrary. There is no bad, good or bad, or no right and wrong. It's just when you put something to the extreme, it will create an unbalance in your life. Okay. So for example, if I score 10 on certainty and 0 on uncertainty, it means that I want everything to be very clear and under my control, and everything I must be comfortable with it and familiar with it. But you know that, for example, growth requires to feel uncomfortable. Like if you're always staying in your comfort zone, you're not growing. That means that in that kind of life, then you don't grow. Like you are the same like 10 years ago, just a little more grumpy. And if you cannot accept any uncertainty, it means that your life, even if it gives you safety, it's very boring because you need to do everything the same every day. So no passion. And what that means is that when you can't satisfy one need in your relationship, this need still exists. Okay, you cannot suppress it. So if I can't find satisfaction in my relationship, then my body will be driven to find satisfaction outside my body or my mind. Will be driven to find satisfaction outside of the relationship. So maybe I will put more focus on my work because my work will give me more uncertainty. Okay. Yeah, clarity is power. However, the desire for too much clarity can lead to stagnation. Yes. And if it's the contrary, right? If I score 0 on certainty and 10 on uncertainty, what does that mean? What kind of life do I have? If I am 0 on certainty and 10 on uncertainty. So that would mean that what? I'm always searching for change. Yeah, free spirit. So free spirit, again, free spirit in itself is not bad or good, okay? But if you are always looking for uncertainty and you don't take care of your need for certainty, then you will have a hard time to settle down. You will have a hard time to have a long-term relationship, okay? Because you're always looking for excitement and change. And sometimes long-term relationships, but sometimes they are not about change all the time, right? So you need to find your balance point between the two. And if you score basically the same with those two needs, yes, you're pretty balanced. And if you have a big gap between the two, then maybe you could think about how could I be more flexible on the need that is too strong? And how could I be more familiar with the need that is too low? Okay, because I need to repeat this again because it's very essential to understand that everyone has those 4 needs. Everyone. Like even if you score, you feel that you score a 10 on certainty and a 0 on uncertainty, you still have that need for uncertainty. And if you don't proactively meet your needs, then your body, your mind will create a problem to satisfy that need. And so with people who are living a very certain and comfortable life, they will argue for nothing. Why? Because arguing gives you uncertainty, gives you a little excitement, gives you a little spice in your day-to-day life, right? So when we don't proactively meet those needs in our relationship, we will unconsciously create a behavior to satisfy those needs. And most of the behavioral problems that we face, like depression, anxiety, anger, procrastination, and stuff like this, it's all because we have neglected one of those needs. And those survival needs, because we all need them, if you neglect them, you will create a behavior to take that satisfaction back. Okay, so it's a dynamic very important to understand. Okay, so let's move to significance and connection. So the same, if we take extreme example, if I'm all for significance and nothing about connection, what does my relationship look like? If you have some ideas, you can put some ideas in the chat box. If it's always about me, I want to feel different. I want to feel that you love me more than others. I want to feel that you respect me. I want to make you feel. I want you to make me feel unique. Yeah, so selfish. Yeah. So basically, if it's always, and antisocial. Yes. Okay. So if it's always about me, then it's very hard for me to have deep connection. Like, and even if I have connection with some other people, it will be more like either a tyrant, I want to press other people, or either a victim. So either I get your attention by pushing my ideas on you, okay? So I can argue with you and stuff like this, or either I get your attention by being a victim. And then by being a victim, I will attract people to take care of me, okay? So it's a narcissist, yeah. So if it's completely the opposite, if I am all for connection and nothing about significance, what kind of relationship do I have? If I'm all for, it's all about us, it's all about being together and being alike and being a team. If it's all about this and nothing about significance, what kind of relationship do we have? Clingy, yeah? Used? Mm-hmm. Shallow, annoying? Yeah, see, if it's from your point of view, if you are everything for connection, compassionate, yeah, If you are if everything in you is for connection and nothing for significance, it's actually tiring. Yes. So you can see that in the, I like to say, the classical marriage, where the wife sacrifices herself for the family. Okay, so it's all about the family, and so I don't need to take care of myself. Yeah, I need to give all my attention and energy to my husband and my children. Okay, and when you do that, what happens is like, low self-worth. When it's always about everyone and not at all about you, then you don't know who you are. And you don't know your self-worth, and you will have a lot of self-negation. You will folding. Yeah, you will easily get depressed because you're not taking care of yourself. Okay, so again, both we need both of them. We need both of them. So if there is a big gap between the two, then maybe you can think of, how could I be more flexible on the need that is too strong, and how could I be more familiar with the need that is too low? Okay, and so with that, actually we can predict why you're going to argue. You're going to argue about the need that is the lowest one, with the lowest score. So when you do this, when you score yourself, your lowest score is your reason why you will argue with your partner, because this need has not been proactively satisfied. So you will create a behavior problem to satisfy it. Okay. So it's really important to be clear about that, and also to help your partner to be clear about that. So you can talk about this in advance. And how do we do that? Let's move. Oh, yeah. A question. How do these new learnings affect your understanding of love? So maybe at the beginning, for some people, love, it's all about us. It's all about compassion. Or for some people, oh, love, it's all about feeling trust and safety. Okay. So now that I have explained to you those 4 survival needs and their balance, how do you perception of love? How do your perception of love is different?
I think for me, as I start exploring these, I start thinking about what the scores would be for my partner personally. And I start realizing, oh, maybe this is the reason why we fight about this particular thing, as we see there's a gap even between our scores. And then I can see, okay, maybe this is also the reason why we love each other so much as well, because I can see commonality in certain scores as well. So for me personally, it brought that level of clarity in an area that I can totally do some work on just to create more synergy in my relationship. So thank you for that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, you can really, it's a really good assessment of your relationship. Yeah. Change a lot. Yeah. I'm a needy boyfriend, but needy, it's okay. You needy, it's okay. I will give you a tool. In the next slide, I give you a tool. And if you are needy, it's okay. No problem. You just have to be clear and to communicate that to your partner so that your partner know how to satisfy you. Okay. So let's move to the next. So because maybe before that, you didn't know that there were those 4 needs to be satisfied in your relationship. And maybe you don't know how to satisfy them. If you don't know yourself how you would like to be satisfied, that it will be very hard for your partner to satisfy you. I know that a lot of people, they say, but if this person love me, she should know how to satisfy me. Well, that's good in the movies, but for real life relationship, it's better to have a more mature approach and to be clear about what you want and to express it clearly to your partner. And then when you have built that trust and you have built that emotional intelligence between the two, then you can play on romance and you can play on surprises and guess and stuff like this. But to start with, oh, you love me, you need to guess how I would like to be satisfied. If you start with that, the biggest probability that your relationship will not last very long or will not be a very fulfilling relationship. So you have to understand that those needs are really what is driving our behavior. And the more that I feel that something can or someone can satisfy my need, the more I will love that thing or that person. So why I would be addicted to my job? Because I feel that in my job, I can score 10 on the 4 needs. But when I go back to my home, I score on those needs. Maybe there is some need that I score on 5, 6, okay? So my focus will be drive to my work because I will feel that my work is more adequate to satisfy my need, okay? And then I will spend more time on my work than on my family. But if I can feel that in my family, I can score high on the 4 needs, then I will be willing to put more focus on my family, okay? And actually, why do we stay together or why do we break up? Well, you break up when you feel that your partner is not able to satisfy your need at a high level anymore. And you stay with someone when you feel that that person can satisfy your need on a high level. So remember, when you argue with someone, actually the topic of the argument is not the real reason. The real reason is that there are some needs that are not satisfied. So don't get caught when you argue with someone, don't get caught in the story. The story is not important. So I would like to invite you to start to write down in the chat box how you would like your partner to give you more safety, to give you more trust. Or you would like your partner to give you more connection. Or you would like your partner to make you feel more respected. And it's very important to write several of them. And if you have no clue, maybe you have heard about those things like the 5 love language here, or like men come from Mars and women come from Venus, right? And what I would like to do is like in the chat box, we take a few minutes to exchange some ideas, because maybe for some people, they have never thought about that need and they have really no clue about how to satisfy that need in their relationship, okay? So first of all, I would like everyone to put at least one idea about certainty. How you would like your partner, what you would like your partner to do to make you feel comfortable, to make you feel safe, to make you feel trust. Quality time and physical touch, yes. What else? What idea can you have? And if you can, more respect and control. If you can put a lot of ideas in the chat box, then at the end of the webinar, you can save the chat box and you will have a lot of ideas and reference to improve your relationship. So safety and trust. More respect through communication and patience. Okay, so more respect, it would be a bit for significance and a bit for certainty. So you will realize that some behaviors actually can satisfy several needs at the same time. Okay, so for example, when you listen to someone, it might make feel the other person significant because you're listening to them, you're not interrupting. It might make them feel safe because they feel that when they talk with you, you will not judge, so they feel safe. And also they feel connected because it's like an intimate time for you, okay? Respect and communication, yeah. More words of affirmation. Yeah, okay, good, okay. So usually people are easy to come with idea about certainty, but not so much about uncertainty. So now I would like you to share some ideas about uncertainty. What would you like your partner to do to make you feel that there is some change, some enthusiasm, some excitement in your relationship, some variety? Kind words, small gifts and presents. Okay, so might be for certainty. So now for uncertainty, open-minded. Okay, so willing to try new stuff. Huh? Good. What else? Surprise. What else? Words of affirmation and surprise. Okay. Flirting. Yes. Okay. Put some spice. Playing some games. Okay. Good. So flirting is a very good one. So now we move to significance. What would you like your partner to do to make you feel more respected, to make you feel that you are unique, to make you feel that you are worthy of being loved? So significance. What ideas do you have? Put some ideas in the chat. Significance. So I want to feel respected. I want to feel that I'm different. Supporting your decision. Yes. Words of affirmation. So you see, words of affirmation, it's come from all the needs. So listening here, okay. Long-lasting hugs. Good. Listening. Okay, good. And I'd like to invite you after this webinar to try to be more specific. Gratitude, okay. Okay, I will talk about the specificity after the last one. Honoring time, good. Good, good, good. So you see, there are more ideas for significance than uncertainty. It's usually like that. We love uncertainty when we are in the falling in love phase. Everything is new, this person is new, we go to new places, we do new stuff. And then when we clarify our relationship, when we decide about our relationship, we move to certainty, and then often we forgot about uncertainty. So it's really important to understand that you cannot neglect one of those needs. Okay, so let's move to the last one, connection. So connection is really, it's not about me, it's about us. And I want to feel that we are on the same page. We have some common interests, we have a common vision, common values, shared values. We act like a team, and there is solidarity. So what would you like your partner to do to make you more feel like this? To make you feel that you are more connected? Put your answers in the chat. Don't be shy. Activate your imagination. Getting excited about my ideas. Ah, good. And look, this one could also work for uncertainty. Right? Open up. Okay, opening up. So when they have problems or when they have difficulties, they can share it to you. So yeah, you feel that they don't keep it for themselves. They're willing to share. So they can solve that problem, face that challenges together. Good. Good, good, good. Using kind and patient communication. Yes. Communication again. So again, you can see that one behavior can simultaneously satisfy several needs. Getting excited about their own ideas. Yeah. Enjoying activities together. Yeah, of course. Good. Very good. Okay. One last suggestion, ideas. Maybe not. And it's okay. Okay, so next step, jokes. Yes, and jokes works also for uncertainty, of course. Consider getting excited for the future. Okay, good. Okay, so a shared future, and you are excited about this, so it also makes you feel connected, also make you feel some uncertainty because it's about the excitation of the future. Considering your interests. Okay, good. Okay. So now, what I invite you to do after this webinar is really to try to enrich your book of love. Okay. And at least to find, because we are not always, it's not always possible to satisfy, let me rephrase this. It's not always possible, rephrase this. Like if you have just one behavior to make you satisfy that need, then it's very dangerous, because this behavior might be suggest to condition of time and environment or mood. And if you have just one behavior to make you feel that way, and that time the place is not suitable, the time is not suitable, or the mood is not suitable, then you are in a crisis. Okay, so if you're someone who often gets irritated, who often gets whether it's depressed or anxious or anger, it's because you have too few ways to meet your needs. So it's easy for you to feel that you are in crisis mode. Okay, so you really need to diversify the ways to satisfy your need so that you are able, you and your partner, to always find one way that works in the moment. So that's why I would like you to classify your ways into easy and complex, and also the degree of satisfaction. Like if you have to score them on a scale to 0 to 10, how much satisfied? So for example, let's take now the example of the long-lasting hug. Okay. if your partner give you a long-lasting hug, how satisfied are you on a score to 0 to 10? And you can find that you have several ways to satisfy your needs. 10, yes. And it might be easy or complex. And I would like you to try to be more specific. Yes, 6. So you see, for example, it's important to be specific, because if you tell your partner, I'd like you to hug me, okay? Maybe your partner will be hugging you, but not in the way that you would like him to hug you or her to hug you, and you will still be unsatisfied. So let's take the example of the hug. Maybe there is a time of the day that you would prefer to be hugged. Is it in the morning when you wake up? Is it when you go back home from the work? Is it before you sleep on the night? Maybe there is a preferred time. Maybe there is a preferred day of the week. You prefer to have hugs during the weekend and not during the workday to stay focused. Or the contrary, you prefer to have hugs every workday to feel supported. Okay? There is also an intensity. Do you like to be hugged like just like a little touch like this, very gentle? Or do you feel do you want to feel the excitement and the intensity of your love? Okay? So there is an intensity, okay? And later in the evening at 9:30, okay? And there is also a length. So some people, they just have like, okay, like I say hello, just like this, 3 seconds, okay? But some other people, they want to feel at least 3 minutes so that they can settle down and they can really feel the warmth of the body and stuff like this, okay? So if in your book of log, like some people, they say like this, oh, I already told you so many times that I want you to hug me, okay? And your partner is trying to hug you from his point or her point of view, which might not be the way that you would like you to be hugged, okay? So I told you I want to be hugged. Yeah, and I hugged you and you're still not satisfied. And then you argue about that. Okay, 3 minutes hugs will feel like yeah. when you're into high performance, you don't need 3 minutes, right? What is a high performance hug? First, adjust the distance, and then so you see 0.1 second. Yeah, if they hug you like they are doing homework, it's not valid. Okay, so maybe there's also a mood. When you hug me, I would like you to look to me I would like to have you're looking at me in your eyes. I'm hugging you and then I'm looking at my phone. Yeah, you see, I'm hugging you 3 minutes. So what's going on WeChat? Okay, so the more specific, the more power you have. So I really invite you first, for each needs, to write maybe not 20, but at least 3 to 5 ways that your partner could satisfy your need that way, for each one of them. And then for at least one, to try to be very specific, to give very specific instruction. And you say, oh, but if I do like this again, it's not romantic. No, maybe not yet. But if you want to have a long-lasting relationship with that person, it's better to start with this. And once the other person understands how it works, understand that you prefer not 3 minutes, but 0.1 second, then she will have more ideas to understand how to satisfy your other needs. Okay? Oh, yeah, the length varies depending on the situation. Okay. Good. Okay, so there's also the mood. Okay, so we said like for any behavior in your book of love, there is a time of the day or a time of the week. There is the length. There is the intensity. There is the mood. There is the different sensory organs that you include in that? Do you want to feel touched? Do you want to hear something? Do you want to see something? Okay. So it's pretty close to what you can find in NLP. You try to be very specific on everything. Okay. So let me see. Yeah, let's move on. So you get the idea, and it's an invaluable homework to do. If you first do that for yourself, and then you help your partner to do that for himself or herself, then it will improve your relationship a lot. Okay. And of course, it's also important to try to find ways to satisfy yourself by yourself. Yeah, so give you a hug. Why? Because when you learn to satisfy yourself, you will put more pressure on your partner. Like, if I accept that my partners, all of my certainty, all of my safety in life comes from my partner. All of my excitement in life must come from my partner. All about my feeling respected must come from my partner. Then your partner will have a lot of pressure, because you need to satisfy all of their needs, and you have no ways to satisfy them by yourself. So your relationship will be under constant pressure. And also it will mean that you are in a relationship not to give, but to take, which is a different quality of relationship. And also when you learn to do that by yourself, you can explore your authentic self, you can take care of your inner child, and you can explore your potential and become your best self. Okay? So again, I really recommend to do that after the workshop.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.